Hey guys, it's Saru, and as always, I'm here to share some exciting news for TERA Console. Now, if you guys already know, you probably already know because I've shared it everywhere, even on the official channels, that crossplay would be coming between Xbox and PlayStation on November 19th. I'm going to share the patch notes and exactly how it's going to work in this video. So let's get right into it. So I've gotten a tremendous amount of comments from everywhere, from Discord, Reddit, YouTube videos, and, well, social media in general, of how exactly crossplay would work, and honestly, your questions have been valid. So I'm going to answer as much as I can through what I've been given officially by the marketing team. Now, I'm assuming by the time I actually have this video up, these patch notes will already be available to everybody, or at least maybe an hour later. I'm hoping I'll be earlier before that. Let's hope. I need the views. So, crossplay. How is it going to work? Now, when you go into the server select screen, you'll notice that it's going to say your server name, but before that, it will say, do you want to activate the crossplay option? Now, you can say okay, or you can deny it. It's not going to force you, you don't have to. However, it is recommended for you guys to actually press OK in order to actually play the game with other players. I'm not necessarily saying that's going to be a single player, but if you don't have crossplay on, that means you can only play with players that don't have crossplay on. So once it's done, at the bottom right, it will actually say crossplay on. When you're walking around players, you'll see a little globe icon that kind of looks like this, especially in LFG or instance matching or whatever the case. So you'll be able to identify who's in Xbox and who's in PlayStation. Now there are a few things. Due to the policies of Sony and Microsoft, there are some things that unfortunately are not possible. Like I said before, if your crossplay option is off, you cannot meet other players from other platforms, nor can you meet players from the same platform if they have crossplay option on. So you can only meet players that have it off. I recommend going on. Second thing, you cannot trade with players between different platforms. That means you can't send them parcel posts with items, you can't use brokerage, guild bank, whatever the case. It's also impossible to do voice chat between players in the game if there aren't different platforms, as well as whisper them in game. And the last thing for guilds that our players have been asking is players can only be in the same guild if they're in the same platform. So Xbox players cannot be in a PlayStation 4 guild. Now I know that sounds all bad, but honestly that will be worked on in the future, and a lot of feedback is coming into the game already. So let's not get ahead of ourselves on how it's not going to work or whatever, or how it sucks. Now there's going to be a brand new TERA friend system and block system. So before, when you added players, you would add them because your friendship would be based on your platform, so PlayStation or Xbox. There's going to be a brand new friend system. It's completely independent from the original platform friend system, and when you're there you can add players whether they're in your platform or an Xbox platform, so you can actually just add cross-platform there. Additionally to that, it's the block system. You can block players regardless of the platform. They could be on Xbox or PlayStation, and one exciting thing for the block system is that if you block somebody, even though you can't see their chat, which is actually already a thing, you cannot meet them in matching. That means if you're instance matching with a player and that player that you blocked is also instance matching, you will not meet them. So it will look a little bit like this. Now with the merged servers, this is actually pretty interesting for the Asian version, so let's go with North America. PlayStation North America and Xbox North America, so Darkin and Lakin will be North America. Maldita and Yana will be Europe. For character merge, so this is a server merge. If your name is Kirito and someone else's name is Kirito on Xbox and PlayStation, the person with the most time on it and the longest time on it will keep the name Kirito. Or for those more elitist anime people, Kirito-kun. So for example, if on Darkin you have 10 hours accumulated login time before the server merge date with the name Jimmy, and on Lakin, same thing, but it's 20 hours, the player on Lakin will actually occupy the character name. For guild names, it's the exact same thing, but a little different. It's the guild with the longest period from creation that will have it. So if your guild was created on March 29th, and has the name Sarumonin's Cookies, whereas on the other platform it's the same name, but it was made an hour before or a day before, that guild will keep the name. So for players that do GVG, those battle details are going to be completely wiped and start all over again. The reason for this is that it's a brand new server essentially, and the history will be completely erased and start all over again. Now this will happen to a lot of things. So things like your TERA coin will stay, leaderboard stuff is being reinitialized, world event stuff, again reinitialized. If you have 4 boxes you haven't claimed in the world event stuff, you should claim them beforehand because they will be completely erased and you'll have to start all over again. That doesn't mean the actual boxes themselves, but I mean the unclaimed boxes in the UI when you actually click on the world event location and you grab the boxes, bounty hunt, or whatever the case. Gear presets may be restarted and reinitialized, so if that happens, don't rage. It's actually probably going to happen because there's so much data being merged together that it's very likely to be lost. It doesn't mean your gear itself will be lost, just the preset saves. That does not include the skill glyph presets. Those should stay and be preserved, as well as the chain skills and the block list and your gathering skills, and all of that stuff should be completely fine. I do recommend, however, taking screenshots of your items and your item bank, your item claim, your postal, whatever the case, because the fact of the matter is, sometimes things go wrong. Nothing is guaranteed in life, it just is what it is. And if anything ever happens after crossplay, just send in a support ticket. Now I'm sure players are going to ask about the broker thing. The broker is going to stay the exact same. Now it will consist of a few things. The broker will exist, but it will only exist for your own platform. That just necessarily means you can't really trade with players from another platform, but pretty much I would just expect that the broker only works for PlayStation players and Xbox players, so a broker only works for Xbox players. So I hope that makes sense. So other than that, it's pretty much normal crossplay stuff. You will find other players in the open world, you can instance match with other players in the world, you can LFG with other players from other platforms, you can fight them, you can duel them, you can do GVGs with them, but you cannot be part of the same guild. That system may be changed at a later date, but it's just for now what I'm trying to tell you guys. So I hope that kind of clears things up. Not, I know a lot of players are probably gonna be like, oh no, it's something. But again, this is just the initialized version. A lot of things can change later on, a lot of features can be added, so just stay positive. So I hope that answered you guys' questions about crossplay. When the patch notes are available, I will actually post them in the description below or on the pinned comments for you guys to actually read it on yourselves so you guys don't feel a little too confused. As for our last comment, no, crossplay will not work with PC. It's not planned, it's not going to happen. The reason for this is that PC and console are completely different. They are completely different paths with different progression systems and completely different systems entirely. It's not going to happen. I know a lot of players want this, but it's not going to happen. It's also developed by 2 completely different development teams. So just leave it at that. Alright guys, I hope that helped, and thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable fucking bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.